Hello fellow 3D enthusiast, my name is Ian, and today I wanted to share with you a pretty quick breakdown of this scene that you see right here. So here I am in Blender, and this is my scene. You can see this is what it looks like from far away, and when we're just looking at it without the render enabled, you can see it's basically just a whole bunch of rocky planes kind of slammed together. Nothing too fancy, but the way that it comes together in front of camera is pretty nice. So I figured I could probably show you around, and you might find that useful. So yeah, just bash together rock planes. These were originally planes, and if you go into the modifier stack, you can see they've just got a really heavy subdivision modifier and a displace modifier, which is going to a 4K rock displacement texture. So that's how I got a lot of the detail in the foreground here. These ones are pretty much the same, but a few less subdivisions. And if we go actually into the chamber here, maybe I'll hide these rocks, you can see it's a few kind of head-looking objects inside this weird sculpted cone thing. And these are all objects I just kind of sculpted with dynamic topology. And it really didn't take that long. It was kind of just some fun artistic stuff to do. Then we've got this unfinished kind of part in the middle here, and then there's lava on the ground. And if we play through this, you can see there's some ripples going on here in the lava pool, and that's the only one I did just because that's the only one you can see in the animation. But this sphere here doesn't render. It's just a proxy. With the plane for the lava, I've just gone and enabled dynamic paint in the physics, and I went down and switched that to waves, and just turned down the time speed a little bit and turned up the dampening a little bit. And then this object here is just a basic sphere with a noise modifier that just bobs it up and down. And it's also got dynamic paint, and it is a brush object. And I've just set that so that it doesn't render, and when we hide that, you can see it kind of looks like this lava stream coming down into the water is affecting it, which is super fun and cool. And while we're talking about the lava stream, that's just some basic scrolling texture coordinates, which happen to be last week's video, which you can check out if you wish. But yeah, that's basically all of the kind of visible objects that you can really see going on. If we go back into the camera view, you can see the camera's got some kind of nice camera shake going on here. And this is actually perfectly realistic camera shake. And the way I did that, I actually tracked some real footage and got the real camera motion from this camera. And so I just did a basic tripod track, solved the camera motion, pretty simple stuff. And I just threw the camera solver on top of the camera. And you can see I've toned the influence way down, because if we have that all the way up to 1, that's exactly what the original is, and that is kind of a lot of camera shake. And I wanted this to be a little bit more cinematic, so I just turned down the influence a bit. Okay, so here's the fun part. If we go hide the main objects collection, and I enable the fire and smoke collection, you can see this is just a whole bunch of planes that are kind of janky looking in solid view. But when we go into rendered view, you can see it looks absolutely insane. And there's just so many fire elements and spark elements, and there's some embers in the foreground which are animated. I just had a huge amount of fun throwing all this in. And the cool thing is, these actually help separate all the objects in the scene. And if you put them all together, it gives you a really nice meshed together result. And by the way, I got all of this stuff off of Ian Hubert's Patreon. He's got lots of nice smoke videos that you can use as textures and sparks and stuff like that. He's not paying me or anything. I just find his stuff is so useful. But yeah, that is pretty much the whole scene broken down. And once again, this is the final result. So if you found this useful, there's a whole bunch of tutorials on my channel for Blender. And mainly I focus on visual effects there, so definitely check out those if you'd like to dig deeper into visual effects. But if you're starting out with visual effects in Blender, I've made a completely free video for you. And in this video I just share 5 tips that'll help you integrate your CG creations into real-life footage. And once again, it's completely free. There's a link in the description if you're interested in that. But hey, I'd say that's about it for this video. I hope you have an excellent day, and cheers!